So for better or for worse, Black Ops 6 has a lot of expectations, but to me, there's a few things that, aside from basics and gameplay and what people ask for every single year, there's a few things that can separate this game from being a game to being a great game. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some game-changing additions. I feel like Black Ops 6 needs to not just be a good game, but a great one at that. So drop your thoughts as we go along on what you'd add to this list and what you think could make Black Ops 6 stand out above the rest. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it, and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 coverage. We're getting closer and closer to further reveals upcoming, so I'd love to have you in the community for all that kind of stuff. For now, though, let's take a look at a few things that I think can separate Black Ops 6 from the pack. Now, the biggest thing I think is honestly a content support umbrella. Like, we can absolutely consider this for the following items, but it really comes down to the big question of, can development pump out as much content as players would hope to see? Frankly, love it or hate it, objectively speaking, Sledgehammer has done an incredible job with Modern Warfare 3, offering the most in terms of core game content post-launch. No game in recent years has had the consistency of content offering, big or small, and offered such foundational changes as they have, and I think that that's been really refreshing. Even if you're burnt out on the game, you don't like the matchmaking, you're tired, whatever, objectively, I don't think you can really deny the quantity of things like MP content that we've seen delivered. So with that in mind, piggybacking off of that, I would love to see weekly and seasonal events. One of my favorite parts of this year of Modern Warfare 3 has been the emphasis on weekly and seasonal events, which since the launch of Season 1, we've had a total of, get this, 1 week off of seasonal events. 1 week where there wasn't something in that event tab that you could end up doing. All of those other hours of every day, week, and month of Modern Warfare 3 thus far has had some type of event going on with some stream of challenges, XP-based rewards, and more that you could work towards. For years, I had been saying the way to bring players back isn't by manipulating their matchmaking experience, i.e. skill-based matchmaking, to make them feel like they're in the competition and not getting stopped here and there, but to actually make their time feel valued. And with reports of player counts being way higher at this point in the year than at the same point last year with Modern Warfare 2, I can't help but think that maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe it's me seeing the answer that I want to see, but aside from gameplay fundamentals, well, what's different this year than last? Content and content to work towards. And semi-related to that, I'd love to see a focus on camos, not so much blueprints firstly, but also an adequate amount of these to earn. Like I said, it's been an incredible year for earnable camos. That alone has kept me coming back for stuff to do. I really do hope that in some capacity, either as a prestige reward, as we'll mention in a second, mastery camos, you name it, I really do hope they continue to double down on camos, not blueprints. One of the things I've never really understood since Modern Warfare 2019 introduced the gunsmith system is you have this customization system so laser focused on making whatever perfect build you specifically want, but you have this blueprint system that if you change one attachment, it can entirely ruin the look of the weapon. So give me a skin that allows for customization in any way, shape, or form. That's what I love about the camos that we've seen this year being introduced. And kind of backtracking a little bit to kind of tie it all together with a bow is not only just through weekly and seasonal rewards and camos, have worthwhile grinds and rewards to work towards. Again, coming back to those and encompassing that weekly and seasonal camo challenge system that we've seen this year, add in prestige master rewards that are actually worth it. It seems like, based off the wording they've used, talking about the returning prestige system here out of the reveal for Black Ops 6, that there's some cool stuff coming within the mastery levels of Black Ops 6, but we don't know what that actually will be. I'd love to see something worthwhile though. And also I'd love to see some weapon mastery rewards that are pretty cool. Right now, it's awesome to go through and be a completionist to get those 1,000 kills total between your gold, platinum, and Orion challenges or gilded, forged, priceless interstellar in Modern Warfare 3. While it's nice to be a completionist and do those challenges, you only get a calling card, emblem, and weapon charm out of it. So like, I would love for there to be something if you embark on that shows a little bit more of that mastery than just those smaller items. And since we're talking about weapon sort of mastery, weapon prestige rewards, we know there's going to be weapon prestiges this year in Black Ops 6, so whether it's tethered to or not to the camo grind overall this year, if it's not, I'd love to see some stuff added to allow for sort of incentivizing that weapon progression and weapon prestige. Additionally, I'd love to see a prestige shop, something that again rewards players and incentivizes ranking up and going through the grind over and over again. I thought this was an incredibly underrated addition to Black Ops Cold War, and with the reintroduction of that genuine prestige system once again in Black Ops 6, what better time to reintroduce a way to earn even more rewards? Add in things like camos, calling cards, emblems, you name it. Honestly, I really thought that the sort of throwback emblems you could use for your prestige emblems, I thought that was pretty cool. We'll see if that comes back or not. But next, let's move off the camos and rewards stuff, because that I didn't realize I had that many interests in seeing so much more added in, or rather continued. But I think absolutely what's crucial to the game's core multiplayer experience is a solid number of post-launch maps. 16 maps up front is absolutely beautiful to hear. You won't see me complaining about that, especially given the last couple of years launch content was just either lackluster in terms of quantity. Modern Warfare 3's was all just simply remakes, but to have something that keeps up with what we've had post-launch this year is going to be tough. But if they can do it, I think it's going to be phenomenal, again mixed with an incredible and new experience that you haven't experienced at all if the game launches as we see it already. Modern Warfare 3, love it or hate it, has to date provided the most map and 6v6 content post-launch through the first 8 months of a game's life cycle, and easily on pace to provide the most maps ever in COD history post-launch for multiplayer. Don't believe me? Well, here's the historical breakdown of how stuff has worked. COD 4 only offered that variety map pack, 4 maps. World at War was 10 maps. Modern Warfare 2, 10 maps. Black Ops 1 was the first of the map pack sort of standard that we saw with 4 per year, though the Resurrection map pack only offered zombies maps, so we got 12 maps there. Modern Warfare 3 across Elite gave 27 maps. Black Ops 2 with a bonus map was 17 maps. Ghost and Advanced Warfare, both 16 maps. Black Ops 3 was 23 maps, but it had a few bonus maps like the Back in Black maps, Nuketown. Infinite Warfare offered 18 maps. Modern Warfare Remastered offered 7 maps, the variety map pack, plus a few variants that we saw throughout the year. World War II offered 21 maps, a few more in-season and variety maps. Black Ops 4 was the first of the air quote seasonal sort of testing grounds with the operations, where that had 20 maps. Modern Warfare 2019, 31 maps. Black Ops Cold War, 29 maps. Vanguard, only 11 maps because that game just shouldn't have existed. That was a filler year, if anything else. Modern Warfare 2 was 28 maps, and through 4 seasons, Modern Warfare 3 has already provided 26 maps. So with only needing 5 more maps across 2 seasons, Modern Warfare 3 is on pace to, and I would imagine, ends up through variant maps, new maps, and 6v6 offerings in season being the most that we see in COD history. So Black Ops 6 has quite the shoes to fill in regards to keeping up with that pace. We'll see if that happens or not. Beyond that, though, I'd love to see some gameplay tuning stuff that would, I think, set the game above the rest. Firstly, I mean, this one's kind of a no-brainer, a lessening of skill-based matchmaking. This is probably number 1 for so many people, but honestly, I'm not expecting much to change, and as a result, it's further into this video than smack dab in the front of the list. It's a wish, but I'm afraid that it's not gonna actually happen. I'll be candid here, I found XDefiant and still find XDefiant very refreshing because of this, and not even because of the whole like, oh, I want to crush noobs every game or something like that. I mean, I do find myself performing way better match over match than I do in Call of Duty, but just because the matchmaking feels natural. It's something that doesn't feel manipulated at all, and I get it, you want to protect your casual player base. That's one of those things that even with XDefiant, I've seen comments where it's like, wait, you're asking for skill-based matchmaking back. So I get they want to protect their casual base. That's how they make their money, how they keep players around, and I get it's a way to, air quotes, improve when you're consistently playing players of a similar caliber, but when you simply play based on ping connection to a lobby, and you throw all those predetermined algorithms out the window, brother, it is insane how easy the game gets if you're a good player and how much more enjoyable in terms of connection it can be. Like, I fully recognize that skill-based matchmaking made me compete in regular matches, but good lord, when you actually have variance in lobbies, it is so much more enjoyable. If you're a good player, you're gonna stomp more often than not, sure, but you're still gonna have those matches where you can't do it all yourself, where you're dropping 50 kills in a TDM and you still lose. That happened recently to me in XDefiant. There's nothing manipulative about it, simply you either play well, you get stomped, but if you do, you just improve organically. Also, gameplay related, we've talked about a lot of fixes coming for XDefiant and stuff recently, so this was jogged in my memory that I'd love to see things fixed in an adequate time frame. Do not take days to weeks to months to fix issues. I always will come back to this because it's mind-blowing how this was ever a thing. I know it hasn't happened too much this year with Modern Warfare 3, but Modern Warfare 2 I'll always come back to, where the stim glitch pistol ended up being something that lasted 2.5 to 3 seasons of an issue that was never fixed. That's 5 to 6 months of an issue that was not fixed. And for some of the stuff within Warzone, they weren't aware of the issues at all when they were like the main issues the community pointed out. So getting things fixed in a quick and timely manner is integral to making sure that your game ends up keeping its player base as much as possible, because if the game doesn't work for people, they're not going to play. Another thing that I've been thinking about recently that I feel like could be good for some players, I don't personally care, but it's one of those things that's a nice option to have, is input-based matchmaking. I feel like that would be a pretty nice feature to have within Black Ops 6. XDefiant, you have it in. There's a bunch of other games that have it in, so I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen that introduced within Call of Duty just yet. You have cross-play features, but not input-based features. And finally, an additional item I'd love to see is just simply communication. Communication is absolutely key when it comes to handling the community. I gotta give praise historically to Sledgehammer. Treyarch has always been good, but I'd say they're kind of the middle of the road between Sledge, who just looks to like be the friend that wants to chill with the community and hang out with you guys and chat with everybody, and Infinity Ward, who just doesn't want to talk about anything to anybody. I'd like to lean more towards this game being more so how Sledge handles it with communication. Don't just keep up in the first few weeks after the beta and the launch, but instead try and do it year round. Bring community blogs, developer diaries, or something like that that gives insight behind the scenes and a sense of transparency. If there's a choice made to the game that players don't quite like, explain why things are that way or why they can or cannot be done. I think a lot of people, if they don't agree with a design decision or something like that, at the very least, they're willing to hear out the perspective as to why that choice was made, and maybe that can quell some frustrations. So for that, I think that's a perfect stepping stone from this list into stuff that you guys may have to add as well, because communication can make or break a game for sure. But off the top of my head, that's what I've got. I guarantee that I'll miss a few things here and there. I'll publish this video and immediately be like, oh my God, how did I forget that? But for right now, that's what we got. And of course, we're quite a ways into this video. So feel free to let me know anything you'd like to add to the list, anything you think would make Black Ops 6 an absolute standout of a game. Whatever the case, let me know your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 6 and more FPS content. I would love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.